Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Last Nerds on Earth podcast. This is our very first episode of our Dungeons & Dragons adventure, and I'm very excited to have you guys join us. Very shortly, we're going to dive right in, but first I wanted to let you know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can find us at Last Nerds Earth on Twitter. Once again, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you enjoy the podcast. This is your kind of benevolent DM, Jack, signing off.
I'm going to follow your instructions to the letter.
I hate all of
Make sure they're clear.
so much. This is.
Do you want us to like specify like, you know, our character as far as like class, race, and such, or just
Yeah,
name?
sure. You can just say, "Hey, I'm a gnome barbarian," which would be hilarious, right? That's my favorite class. Race and class is a gnome barbarian. 'Cause it's
Excuse
just
me?
a
That's
tiny,
adorable.
angry person.
Orc wizard.
Dwarf wizard.
Oh, orc wizard.
Oh my god! So he's got
That's
high
also adorable.
intelligence. That's first of all,
Talking
how is
now.
everybody doing tonight?
Fantabulous.
Pretty good.
Good, excellent.
I'm alive. I like to keep my bar low.
We'll see
I
how
like to
long
keep
that
my
lasts.
bar low.
We'll see how long that lasts. Depends how cruel of a master.
I don't know. Like, people are like, well, you know, death, you're done. I don't know. Being alive can be a much bigger punishment than dying.
That's
just saying.
edgy as fuck.
Don't worry, I have
I'll
all
I'm
sorts.
glad we're starting this off on a high note.
Yeah. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your first Dungeons and Dragons session. I'm your host, me. You know me. I'm Jack. I'm the Dungeon Master. Why don't we start in the order of which is on the Discord, which is Mandrew. You are the first on my Discord, so you go
I
first.
am. Oh,
Introduce yourself.
so special. I am a male fire genasi sorcerer, and my name is Carley.
But what are you in game?
Oh, I am a human male in game, and I love myself.
Anyways, so next is John. Why don't you go ahead?
What's up, guys? I'm John, also known as Cube Master. In this campaign, I'll be playing Aligrax Dardendrian, the Dragonborn Paladin.
Oh, Dragonborn Paladin. So you went for big and beefy.
That's how I am in real life.
Of course.
Come and get it.
All right. You already know me, so we'll go on to Mike.
Hello. My name is Mike. I'll be playing Oliver Blackthorn, the Lightfoot Halfling, who is a rogue.
Oh, very nice. There you go. And next, Shalata.
Alright, hi, I'm Charlotta, and I will be playing a human druid named Rowan Brightwood.
Rowan Brightwood. Excellent. All right. And last but not least, Skystar. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Skystar,
Whatever.
and I'll be playing a half-elf ranger named Lane Stormstar.
Rain Stormstar, and there he is right there. Very, very excellent. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get right into it. You guys are a party already preformed. You met at the Adventurers Guild. You trained for about 6 months, and you were sent off to go be adventurers in the name of the Adventurers Guild. You have arrived. You actually sailed across the sea. The Adventurers Guild is in Gundarlund, in the city of Gundbarg. I'm not making this up. And that is where you trained for 6 months. You all arrived at the Adventurers Guild for different reasons, but we don't know exactly what those are quite yet. You guys might have discussed it while you were training. You might not have. It all sort of depends. And you sailed across the sea to the small town. It's more of a port city called Luskan, and it is on the northern side of Faerun along the coast. And that's sort of where you've arrived. As of right now, it is mid-afternoon. You guys are, surprise, surprise, in a tavern. There's about 5 or 6 different tables spread out, and there is a bar along the back side. You guys have been here for a couple of days. You guys were there for a couple of days, and you went from Luskin over to Blackford Crossing. I apologize. This is where you're at in the tavern, is Blackford Crossing. And there are like 5 or 6 tables sitting around. There is a bar against the back wall. The shelving along the back wall has all sorts of different bottles, from ale to whiskey to several unknown substances. Behind the bar, as well, is Boren, the innkeeper. He's a burly, it says dwarf in my notes. I'm going to change that to dwarf, with a thick handlebar mustache. His wife, Selena, is talking to Florin. Florin is the leader of the local workers guild. She's a muscled orc woman, and she's got a very bright smile. There is also Juniper, the tavern girl. She's a beautiful dragonborn with red scales and green eyes. She's talking to Walter. He is a local subduke. He's half elf. He's got blonde hair, and he's a little bit on the shorter side. However, the most interesting character you can see here is named Smargle. He is the goblin barback. He doesn't talk much. He usually talks in 1 or 2 word sentences. And right now he's running back and forth, and he's clearing glasses off, and he's going down into the cellar to grab more ale or beer. And there are also several local townsfolk having a very lively discussion in the back. You guys arrived in Blackford Crossing this morning. You had been tasked with guarding a caravan going from Luskan to Blackford. This was sort of a startup quest or startup mission from the Adventurers Guild. So they set this up and was like, hey, we've got some adventurers coming. They're new, but they can guard your stuff for you. And you guys actually each received a total of 100 gold. You don't need to add it to your character sheets. I had already done it for you.
I was wondering about that.
You should each have 150 gold in your equipment. If you go into your equipment tab, there should be 150 gold underneath there. And that's for purchasing anything, this or that. So why don't you guys go ahead and, like I said, you just got in, you went and grabbed a table. Why don't you guys go ahead and sort of talk about what you're doing at the table? What are you guys getting to drink? Who are you wanting to talk to? Anything like that?
All right.
What was the barback's name?
The barback, the little goblin, his name is Smargle.
He definitely caught my attention right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. I speak fluent Goblin. Does Aligrax, hear any mutterings from him?
He's just, most of his stuff is, excuse me, get out of my way. Excuse me, gotta get this. Do you need this anymore? And sometimes he'll run up to somebody. He'll talk in Goblin speak, even though they have like half a full tankard. And he'll just grab it, even if they're not done with it, and run away and go and clean it. And usually Boren is he understands this. Smargle's a very, like, I want to help kind of a guy. And so he sees whenever he grabs a half-empty tankard, he'll always just give the person who got it stolen, he brings it back to clean it, but stolen, he'll give him a free one. So that way there's no real anger or anything there. But he does get slightly irritable if people are in his way, or they're like trying to fight him for, he wants to clean the tankard, but like people like grab it and hold on to it, and he's like, no, give it to me, it's mine.
Right. So let's see. I just had a question. So,
Sure.
What was the name of the Dragonborn girl you were talking about?
There we go. Her name is Juniper.
Juniper.
Yeah.
And what did she do?
Right now, she's just talking to Walter. He's the half-elf sub-duke. So, do you guys want to talk to anybody? Is there anything you guys want to do, like a drink to grab or something like that?
I'll grab a drink. I'll flag the waitress and be like, "Hey, beer."
Okay, so
Smargle, the waitress.
No, Smargle. He's the barback, so he's clearing stuff off and he's cleaning up. Juniper is the waitress essentially. She's the tavern girl. So she comes over to you. Oh my god, I already forgot her name. Rain comes over to you. Hello, half elf. What can I get for you?
Ale. Biggest one you got.
Biggest one got. Okay, well they all come in one size. Is there anything else I can get for the rest of you? And she looks. Her eyes sort of pause a little bit on Aligrax, and then just sort of scan the rest of everybody.
In Draconic, I'm gonna say whiskey. Make it a double.
She sort of gives a little half smile at that and says, and replies in Dragonborn back, "Of course."
Well, I'd like 3 ales, please.
Oh my, you are quite the drinker, aren't
great.
you?
Well, it gets me started.
Okay.
And I'll just have a water.
Are you sure it's not very clean?
Well, I guess I'll have an ale then.
I think that'd be a wise choice. Anything for you? Oh. And she sort of looks at Oliver, the rogue, the halfling rogue, Oliver. She looks at you and she's like, just a little confused. And then she just sort of brushes it off because she can't see her face. And so she's like, anything for you?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I get it a lot.
I'm sorry, I know you're being serious. Go ahead.
I would like a few things.
Okay.
I'll have 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, and 1 beer, please.
I'm sorry, we only really have whiskey and ale.
Okay, one of each of those then.
So whiskey and an ale? So whiskey with a chase?
Whiskey and ale.
So it's all up
Make
front.
something called a Boilermaker.
Okay, of course. So it's 2 silver for the ale, and it's 5 silver for the whiskey, or you know. So, and you guys do have to pay up front. So whatever you ordered, I'm assuming you guys are keeping track of your own orders. Go ahead and just reduce that amount. So like, for Mandra, I think it's like 6 silver and everything out, and then she will run and grab it for you.
I'm gonna when I give her my 10 silver for the double, I'm gonna slide her an extra and give her a wink.
Okay, so she sort of collects up and she tilts her head in a sort of a dragonborn fashion that might be a little flirty, and then she goes back and she goes through these 2 double doors in the back, and you just sort of hear her grunting at Smargle, and he like runs out with like all of your drinks, and he sets them down. He's like, here you go, 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 and he's just like with perfect precision, like he was literally made for this. Like he slams it down, not a drop is spilled, everything is perfect. So
This guy.
he grabs the what's that?
He's already my favorite character.
So he grabs the tray and he's like, and he like puts a hand out. And he waits.
I go into my matted hair
I hand him
and I grab a couple of silver and give
I
it to
hand
her.
them a couple of silver pieces.
I will also hand him some super faces.
He like
You.
so okay, so how many silver is that? Like 10 silver pieces. And so
Yes,
he
I'm
actually
giving
like drops his tray and he can't hang on. There's so much silver for him, and he like scurries away back into the and he's like and he like just runs back. So there's the tray was just left like on the floor next to you, and then your drinks are sitting there as well.
I don't quite
On
think
the
you
floor?
understand how money works.
Yeah, so he like ran away with it. And so he's in the back. Boren is still sort of cleaning out glasses, and he joins in the conversation with Selena and Boren about just they're talking about some stuff. And the day sort of winds on, and you guys sort of get a couple more drinks in, and they give them to you on the house because they know that they gave you the second round of drinks on the house because they know you're an adventuring guild group, so they want you to come back, because they know you guys get that bread. When all of a sudden,
All that bread.
outside, you guys start to hear footsteps running and voices that were just regular hustle and bustle of the local town are suddenly raised, and they're excitable, and they're talking, and they're you hear these people sort of start to shout and everything like that, and most of them sound offended, like, hey, watch out, hey, hey, get out, what is that? Wow. And you hear just this large commotion going on outside, and you hear one voice talking to many.
Is there a window or something I can look out?
Yeah, there's a big front window right by the door. It's a little smudged and dirty just because it's a bar in like the 1400s or more. So it's a little smudged and dirty, but if you want to try and look out, you can. But roll me a perception check.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. First one, baby. Let's see.
10 plus 3, 13.
13. Okay, so you can see a small crowd gathered. If you go out the door, it's to the right and down the road just a little bit. About half a block, you can see like a small crowd gathering over there. Most people are still standing alongside the road, anybody that was out there, but there is a small crowd gathering.
Just gonna pop out the door real quick. Not like gonna leave the tavern area. I'm just gonna like step outside to actually have a look.
Yeah, I'm gonna run towards the group.
Okay, so you wanna, Nandrew, you wanna, Carly, you wanna actually get out and go towards the group.
Well, this sounds fun. And then I just get up, I go.
Why not?
All right. So Carly and Rain, you're also heading out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also heading out too. I don't
Rowan
want to be the only
wants to
one
sing.
behind. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm coming along.
Everybody's going. Let's go. So your characters move through the door in a graceful manner, not clogging it like I sort of expected you guys to.
That's what I was thinking.
And as you guys get closer and closer, you can hear sort of this. It's a little bit of a higher pitched voice, and he's saying, "You gotta help me! Oh, you gotta help me, please! You gotta!
Oh my
I
God,
don't even know where! I don't even know where!"
Right away.
And then,
What am I to do?
and so as you get closer, you notice that there is a gnome, an older gnome, and he is talking to two of the town guards. And they're trying to calm him down, but they're not having much luck, and they can't really get a lot of information out of him. He just keeps saying, "You gotta help me! You gotta help me, please! I don't know where she is!"
Can I try to push my way through the crowd?
It's not a very
get
big
them?
crowd. You make it through really easily, especially since you're Dragonborn. People sort of move aside just a little bit.
All right, so I'm gonna walk up to where these guards are, not faltering in my step. Put a hand on the gnome's shoulder and say, "What ails you, my friend?"
Ah! Oh my God, you scared me. I'm sorry. It's not that you're a Dragonborn. I'm sorry. It's not that. It's just you're so tall and I'm so small. And I don't even know what's going on. So I'm really scared. I'm just sort of freaking out. And I don't know where she is. And I'm trying to find her. And I can't find her. These guys aren't helping me at all.
Slow down, my friend.
I can't slow down. You speed up. Let's go.
Who is this she you're talking about?
My daughter. My name's Carley, and my daughter Katrina's gone. And I don't know where she is.
All right, Calic. Well, you've come to quite the right place, I'd say.
Apparently I haven't. Nobody seems to be able to help me. I don't know where she is.
Well, I believe my friends and I,
Sorry, my dog just came in looking worried as all fuck. Buddy, everything's okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go on.
I'm gonna say my friends and I, and then look behind me, hoping everybody else is right behind me.
He like
I walk up to him and I pick him up to put him at eye level with the guards.
Put me down! No, I got
It's okay. It's okay.
And he's like wiggling
We're
around,
gonna
and
be
he's
all
freaking
right.
out, and he's
We're gonna
squirming,
help you
and he's
out,
squirming.
and
And the guard
gonna be
steps up
great.
to you. The guard steps up to you and he says, "Listen, Genasi, I don't know how they do things across the pond, but you need to put that guy down. That's a little rude to pick up a little gnome guy. Okay?
You don't even
Put
have
him
to
down.
worry about it.
Oh, put me down! Oh, please put me down!"
My
And he's just
mom's a
wiggling
gnome.
around. He's wiggling around. Why don't you make me a
My
dex
mom's
check?
a gnome.
Roll a dex check.
Okay, I
And
got
I guess he's gonna roll one.
15. 13 plus 1, 14.
Can't just walk into town picking up gnomes everywhere.
Okay, so he rolled a 17, so he's able to wiggle out of your grasp, and he kicks you. Yeah, don't pick me up.
I kneel down and just.
Are you like putting your finger on his lips or something?
No,
'Cause
no.
he will bite you.
Just face into face.
The guard sort of like pushes you back just a little bit, like, "Hey man, maybe don't get in his face like that right now. You just picked him up," and like he's
I sit down and I meditate.
What?
what's he doing now? I don't understand. People picking me up. And he looks up at Aligrax and he's like, "Can you help me or not?"
My friends and I will do everything we can to help you, but you need to tell us exactly what happened to Katrina.
Okay, so this is what happened. I'm sorry, you guys can't see me. I'm very animated right now. I'm like moving my arms and shaking. I do need my camera on. Whatever. I'll get that later. He sort of takes a few deep breaths and actually roll me a persuasion real quick.
Persuasion?
Yep.
Persuasion, that is going to be a 24.
Holy shit, he's so calm. So he takes a few deep breaths. Okay, this is what happened. So the last I saw my little Katrina, she was out in the field doing a little bit of work. She said that she was gonna go to the market later that day, but that was the last time I saw her, was out in the field. So I went inside and I had a little bit of lunch and I took a nap and I woke up and you know she was gone and I was like, okay, well I'll wait a little bit, and I waited a couple hours and I waited until after she gets back usually, and she wasn't there, so I went to the market and I couldn't get heads or tails of anybody. Nobody could help me out. I didn't know where she was and nobody seemed to know where she was, and I didn't know what to do, so I was running around all night and I finally got so tired I had to go home, and then I got done going home, and so I woke up this morning. I rushed here as soon as I could, and it's very far away. My legs are so small, it took me a while. So, yeah.
I understand. Now, do you know if Katrina managed to make it to the market, or if she disappeared from the farm?
That's the thing. I don't know. I never saw her leave, and I never saw her come back, and I couldn't find anybody that knew anything about her.
Did you happen to see any signs of struggle at your farm? Was anything out of place?
I didn't really look around too close. I figured she had gotten, I don't know what, on the way here or there.
Right.
Right, yeah.
So, I believe my friends and I should be able to get to the bottom of this. I kind of turn back and look for nods of approval from everyone.
Approval.
I
I'm nodding.
open my eyes from my meditation.
I
and we-
we can certainly look into it. How about this? Why don't we start back at the beginning? Take us to your farm, the last place you saw her. We'll start there, see what we can find.
Okay, all right. If you think that's the best to do is to go back to the farm, okay. Let's go on
Beginning is
back.
always the best place to start.
Okay, well let's go back. And so the Baron with what is his name? Yeah, Boren. Sort of pokes his head outside and says, "You guys off?"
Yes, Boren. Fortunately, we have to help our friend Calic here with something, but Worry not, we'll be back before long.
That's what they always say.
We're
Don't
gonna
run-
get to the
don't
bottom
run
of
me.
this case.
Don't run the whiskey dry on me.
I can't without you. Ah! And he shuts the door and goes back inside.
Oh, boring.
Classic Boren. Okay, so Calic is just he's beside himself. He's sort of muttering, and the whole way back to his farm, he sort of leads you down the dirt road east out of Blackford Crossing, and his house is close. It almost butts up right to, or not his house, but his land butts up right to what is it called? Neverwinter Wood, the northernmost part of Neverwinter Wood. It's still within inside of town, but it's still a decent way out. And so you come up to his house, and it's a fairly quaint, mostly wooden house. It's got 2 bedrooms, a nice little kitchenette area. It's a very beautiful house. Enough about the house. So his land stretches from the roadside all the way to the forest. So he says, "Okay, well, here we are. Where do you want to start?"
Well,
Right.
how about we start with this? When your daughter normally goes into the market, what's her normal routine?
Well, okay, so what she normally does, she doesn't really get, gussied up. She's not one of those girls that needs to get gussied up or anything like that. But she'll get her little bonnet, and she'll get a basket, and she'll, that's basically it. She'll take any fruits or veggies we might need to sell to get some money, or something like that, and then she'll go into the market just down the road we just came up.
Right. So, I'm gonna look around and see if we notice, a bonnet or a basket anywhere that might indicate that she didn't actually set out.
I'm also gonna have a look around the area.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll look around too.
gotcha. So let's do.
We all get lucky.
You won't. Let's do Aligrax's first. Give me a perception check real quick.
Perception check. That's gonna be a lovely 7.
7. So you don't see a bonnet or a basket or anything like that. And then let me go. Rain and Rowan, give me investigation checks.
Let's see. 19.
Oh shit! Nice. Rain.
And let's see. I had it. That is going to be a 12 for me.
12. Okay. So Rowan, as you're sort of looking around, you don't see any real indication that she had really left. But when you get towards the back of the property, you do notice a couple things. You notice a piece of cloth snagged on a branch, and you notice a path leading into Neverwinter Wood.
Oh.
There's also, with that roll, you also notice a very, very, couple of drops of blood.
Alright, well, I'll call out for the others. Look, I found something.
I go see what you found.
Yep, I go too.
Yeah, go
Same.
have a look.
It looks like blood.
We're
Are
gonna do
there,
blood test.
It was
are there
appropriate for the moment.
are there thorns around or anything in nature that could have, caused bleeding?
There are a couple of this is gonna fucking kill me. Bramble patches there. I did it. Off to the left and right, but not really in this same pathway. The blood is basically where the branch snagged the clothing.
Before we start trampling
okay.
all over the pathway, are there any, recent footprints or anything that might indicate someone recently traveled this path?
None that you can see.
Is the gnome guy still with us?
Yeah, no. He's back at the house. Once he saw you guys sort of start to looking around, he was sort of wringing his hands, and he was very worried. So he went inside and made himself a cup of tea.
I think we should go back.
I'd like to just look around a little bit more.
Okay, roll me
Have that.
investigation.
Okay. I am at 19 plus 2.
19, 21. Very nice roll. So what you see are drag marks that would indicate that something was dragged into the woods.
Alright. Well, I think that this little lady got dragged into the woods here. You see this mark?
Definitely looks like a possibility. Do you think we should alert Calic that we found something?
Oh no! I think I burned that bridge a little bit right now. We should probably just get an answer first.
So
Yeah,
drag
he
mark,
seems a little
no
worried.
footprints.
I don't want him worrying. Overly much, anyway. Very well. In that case, do we agree we should follow the trail?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So is that what y'all want to do, everybody?
Yep.
I suppose let's follow the trail.
Okay. A werebear eats you. No. So you guys slowly.
That's not how it works.
I have immunity to being eaten.
Nobody does. So you make your way into the woods, and after a few minutes, you hear sort of a yelp from the farm, and Calic comes out of his house, and he starts running towards you on his little like, where are you going?
Calic, my friend, there's nothing to worry yourself with. We found what we believe might be a lead, and we're following it.
He looks down and he sees the blood, the drag marks, the cloth, and he pulls the cloth up and tears start welling up in his eyes, and he says, "This is from Katrina's dress. I know it's from Katrina's dress. This is from Katrina's dress. And he starts freaking out, and he's like shaking himself, and he doesn't know what to do. He's just freaking out.
Calic,
I'll put a hand on him and try to calm him down. Try and tell him it's okay. We're going to find her.
Okay, roll me a persuasion check.
Oh, 21.
Damn, y'all.
Nice.
we're a persuasive bunch.
Yes.
How'd you get a 21?
Because that's plus 2.
Am I looking at the right one?
No, wait. Oh, wait.
Okay,
I
yeah.
looked at the wrong thing. I looked at religion instead of persuasion. It's 19.
Okay, you're fine.
Sorry.
Either
I can't
way,
fucking
so
read.
you're fine.
It's all good.
I'm rolling a 21-sided die.
Just
obviously.
remember, people, I've got your character sheets right here. I'm not afraid to call you on your BS. Anyways, so he takes some breaths again. He's like, okay, well, maybe she's not, that word. Maybe she's okay, and maybe she's just, maybe something bad happened. But she's a smart girl. She's gonna get herself out of there. I know it. She'll be okay. And he sort of calms down and listen, guys. If you can find her, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could, please.
Of course, Calic.
Oh, thank you so much. I knew y'all was the right people to help me. I just knew it. So I'm gonna head back to my house and I'll be okay over there. And you guys just let me know, okay?
Of course. As soon as we know something, you'll be the first to know.
Okay, well, all right. And he just sort of slumps shoulders, very sad, and he just upset, and he just walks back to his house and sits on the porch and just sort of sits in his chair and is just rocking away for a little bit. So that's where he's at. As you guys turn to move into the woods, you notice that the sun is a little bit past its zenith, so we are still about mid-afternoon. And you begin to walk into the woods. Somebody roll me a... Let's do a nature check. Well,
Right, I got a +2.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's do
I
it.
got a +4.
I can do.
Anybody teach us wise.
All to roll it.
Oh,
Do I get
You know what?
discount as
18.
my favorite terrain for forest?
Oh, is your favorite terrain forest?
Yes.
Oh, then yeah, you are in a forest.
So I believe. All right. In that case, I'm going to be 21.
Okay, so you're very easily able to follow the trail, and as you keep going, the trees don't really get closer, but they get bigger as you go deeper and deeper into the woods. And there's the sounds of birds squawking in the distance, and there's the sound of crickets and well, maybe not crickets. I don't know, fantasy crickets maybe, and all sorts of little bugs and just typical sounds of the undergrowth. And as you guys move through, you notice up ahead where it had been getting darker and darker and darker as you got deeper into the woods. Suddenly, there's a bit of light, and you guys find yourselves approaching a clearing. And once you get about 10 feet away from the clearing itself is pretty large. I would say about 30 feet across, and just a basic circle shape. And at the other edge of the clearing, you see a small campfire. And sitting around the small campfire are 3 goblins.
oh,
Do I hear them talking about anything?
Roll me a perception check.
Perception. That is going to be a 12.
12. They are talking, but you can't really tell exactly what they're talking about.
Try to listen in as well.
They're speaking in lower voices.
Can't tell if it's goblin or common.
It's goblin. You can tell that much.
6. I don't hear
You got a
shit.
6. You don't
Yeah.
even know if they're talking. You can see them doing hand signs. That's about it.
Are there any
I'd like
trees
to try
or
to-
bushes or anything I can get into?
So all around the clearing is sort of low shrubbery. In the middle of the clearing, there are some bushes and shrubs, but no real trees. I should mention off to the left, from where you guys are, off to the left, there's a small pond. It's not very large, about 10 feet across. That's about it.
And they're the only ones around the fire. Yeah.
They're the only ones you guys can see.
No large body shaped sacks.
No, from your 12, mostly what you can tell is this is a hunting party. They have a few spears on them and some bow and arrows.
Well, I see no reason to bother them.
So
I want to try to sneak up and see if I can hear him a little better.
Okay. I will ask you this: do you speak Goblin?
Oh, no, I do not.
Okay.
I'd
mind.
like to go around the clearing.
I
to the other
actually
side.
do speak.
Take a
Goblin.
look.
I did.
Okay. So we're gonna have Carley do a stealth check, and I'm gonna need you to do it twice.
Okay.
You got good
All right.
stealth too.
I got a 19 plus 3.
22, perfect. So you are able to sneak around about halfway, about 15 feet around the right side of the clearing. So roll me one more.
13 plus 3, 16.
So you are able to get within about 10 feet of the goblins.
All right.
And
Do I see anything?
so what you can tell, roll me a perception. A lot of rolling. I missed rolling dice, so you guys are going to roll a lot of fucking dice.
I am 17.
17. So you see 3 goblins, and they've got their spears and bow and arrows, but you see 6 packs. Yeah. And the goblins don't really seem to be on high alert. They don't seem to be worried about anything. They're just sort of sitting and talking. And you've sort of you've sort of been around like criminals and thieves and sort of, you know, that close bond that comes between being like, you know, through the shit together, and you can tell they're mostly just BSing. Like, you know, like you can't tell exactly what they're saying because they are speaking in Goblin, but you can tell they're sort of nudging each other and laughing a little bit, and so that's what you can tell so far.
Okay, I'm just gonna chill and wait and see what happens.
Okay. Anybody else?
I could try to stealth over there, but I'm wearing heavy armor, so that's probably not a good idea.
I'll stealth over there.
Okay.
I'm gonna
who
stay
speaks
behind and
Goblin?
wait.
Okay, and then so we've got Oliver stealthing over there. Roll me a stealth check if you could.
13 plus 7, 20.
Okay, so you get about halfway there. Roll me another one, and then Rain, you wanted to do something as well, right?
That's another dirty 20.
Nice, I like it. All right, so you're right up there next to Carley. You guys are side by side.
Hey, buddy.
Hello. Oh, sorry. Hello.
Carley, roll me a stealth check real quick. What's your
17 plus 3. 30, 20.
Hello. We're getting lucky with these rolls.
Yeah, y'all are. Don't burn all y'all shit right now, though. Okay, so yeah, they didn't hear you. So you two are sitting up there, and then Rain, you wanted to try something.
I'm gonna hang back
Okay.
a little further away, and I'm gonna look around the outskirts here.
Mm-hmm.
Any tracks, anything, any other leads that might be floating around we can follow. Another strip of cloth or some tracks, more drag marks.
Okay. Roll me
You know.
an investigation. I think it's perception, actually. Let's roll me a perception.
Perception?
Yeah.
All right. Would my advantage apply here? I'm not sure.
It's double your proficiency bonus. So basically, you would add your +3, and then you would add +4 because of your proficiency. Probably. Sounds good. Let's go with it.
All right. So that's going to be a 14.
Okay. So you do notice that the trail you guys were following skirts off to the right and around the clearing. It doesn't go through the clearing, but it goes sort of around and then more towards the right away from the clearing.
Okay.
But that's all you notice. Does anybody else want to do anything?
I'll also look around, see if I can see any signs or anything, I guess.
Okay. Perception for me?
20.
Shit. Oh, sorry.
These
Oh,
are
shit, for a
crazy
different thing.
rolls.
So that's all you guys notice is the trail leads off that way.
I'm gonna
Alrighty.
twiddle my thumbs until somebody comes back with useful intel.
Is it still light out? Can we see in the woods, or is it dark?
It's still light out. It's getting a little bit late afternoon, so the shadows are stretching.
All right. I'm gonna make my way back, and like show them the one that's still standing there. I'm gonna show him the trail. Show Aligrax the trail there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
I do believe we should go this way.
It does seem the right way to go.
All right, I am going to do a minor illusion of sound on the opposite way of that trail, the opposite direction into the woods, and it's going to be just goblin speak, and see if they go for it.
Okay. Do
a
you
good one.
know Goblin Speak?
You know what? I don't, but I've been listening to them talking, so I could just kind of repeat what they've been saying.
So, Okay.
Well, I can instruct you on what to say.
But you're not with me.
Oh,
That's the
true.
problem. So,
I don't speak.
are
Goblin.
you doing it basically like down the path that the
Well,
drag
the-
marks are, or like the opposite side of the goblins, or where are you doing it?
The opposite side of the goblins, and where the other people are at the trail that goes around.
You want to have the goblin speak go from where your team is.
The opposite way from where the team is.
Okay, so that'd basically be where the goblins are. Oh no, I see what you're saying. Okay, other side of that.
I'm gonna draw them away so we can make our way and maybe look through their shit.
Okay. So, all right, let's have you do it. You heard what they were saying, and you're gonna recreate it away from your team on the other side of that. Okay.
It's like that part in Solo when he's mimicking the alien, and he's like, "That's what I said." He just like kicks him in the nuts.
Let's try to get a different outcome.
Okay. So two of the goblins, actually all three of the goblins, perk up, and they sort of look in that direction of the voice. And two of the goblins sort of shake their heads, and they're like looking around, sort of suspiciously, because they can tell it's an illusion spell. And so now they're sort of wondering why anybody would try to cast an illusion spell on them. They can tell, like, that doesn't sound like goblin speak. That sounds like somebody, to us, to the goblins, it sounds like somebody saying toaster, yesterday, banana, see ya, Carl. And you're like, what?
Clearly, Carl put a banana in the toaster yesterday.
Come on, of course he did. Yeah, Carl.
How could they not understand that?
It's like when you talk to your cat, when you meow at your cat, and the cat's like, what the fuck are you saying? And you're like, tax returns. And they're like, I don't know what that is. That's what's happening.
Why do cats have a word for tax returns?
That actually is a great question.
Hey, cats do taxes, man. Cats do taxes. Anyways,
cat.
Mine never helped me
life,
with
death,
my
cats,
tax
and
return.
taxes. I don't know. Because they're a terrible, terrible cat. I don't know. So two of the goblins stand up. The third one's sort of still like looking into the woods a little bit, but one of them nudges him, and he's like, and so they stand up and they've got their spears, but they're still a little bit confused. And you hear one of them call out in common, "Hello?"
I really want to respond.
Hello?
So do I, and I'm in the bushes right next to it.
Well, I'm pretty impulsive.
And so they all
I'm
sort
gonna
of like,
shout out in Goblin. Nothing to see here. Go about your business.
okay, they hear that and they're like, who are you?
I'm going to affirm his statement also in Goblin.
What are you gonna say? The only two people that speak Goblin did not go over to the fucking.
Listen to that guy.
Hey, who are you? What's going on? And they sort of all back up. They have their backs to each other, and they're sort of like facing out. They're like, "Hey, who are you? Come here, real quick. Hey, what's going on?"
How persuasive are they?
Are you persuaded to come over there?
No.
I'm telling you, I want to be. Let's see.
I think I'm trying to get up right now. If nobody stops me, I'm gonna.
I'm
walk
definitely holding him down.
up. Okay. Okay.
You can't hold both of us down. I think we might be able to find something useful from these.
So,
actually,
As you
I'm-
guys
I'm
are
going
sort of like you're holding him down and he's trying to get up, they can hear you guys moving around, and one of them like shrieks, "Ah, who are you? What's going on?" And he like points at
I'm
you
going
two,
to-
10 feet away,
I'm
and
gonna-
they point their spears like at you
So,
guys, but they don't attack.
From the underbrush.
Yeah.
I'm going. I'm gonna step out of the woods with my hands up, be like, "Hey, easy, guys." I'm gonna say it in Goblin. Easy, fellas.
What's good?
Easy.
Oh god! Oh
So,
god! Oh god! No! Not again!
In addition to that, they also hear me say in Goblin, "Don't worry, we don't want any trouble." And then a hulking dragonborn walks from out of the brush, speaking goblin.
That's
They're like,
because
oh,
something like
okay,
3 times
hey.
their size.
And like they've seen the two people that are hugging in the bushes next to them, and then they see you two like step out. So they're like, okay, clearly they throw their spears down and they put their hands up. They're like, hey, we're just easy guys, easy.
We're just looking for some information. One of our, we believe someone might have passed through here recently, and
Right.
we're
Have
just
you
looking.
seen a girl?
What?
Hello?
Oh, hello.
I'm like,
Hello?
Patrick.
Have you seen a girl?
I'm not gonna be able to unhear that shit. So they're like, oh, girl, what's going on? Who are you? What's happening right now? And they're a little nervous.
We're simply a party of adventurers. We've been,
Oh no, not adventurers.
no worries. And well, I shan't say no worries quite yet. Have you kidnapped anyone recently?
What? No, we don't do that. We're not that. That's not us, man. That's not us. Okay.
Then we have no quarrel with you. Worry not.
So Carley and Oliver roll me some perception checks.
Ouchie mamas. Okay, I am 5.
Okay.
I got a 14.
14. So Oliver, you hear, basically you're laying down, the clearing's on your left, you're looking at the goblins dead on. You guys are still laying down, I'm assuming, or did you get up?
No,
I
we're
think at
still,
this
I'm
point-
laying down.
Okay.
Okay, so y'all are still laying down.
Unless he let me up. I was trying to get up the whole damn time.
Oh no, I'm definitely holding him down still.
Off to your right, about, you would guess, 20 to 40 yards away, you can hear creatures coming towards you.
Okay. Carley,
Hello? Yeah?
did you hear that?
What? No?
That was a little too
what?
Batman-y.
What? What are you talking about?
There's somebody coming. Be quiet.
Oh, okay.
So I grabbed Carley and I, sort of like, shh. There's more people coming. Try to like turn his attention to the other people coming behind us.
Oh, they're coming from your right.
Yeah.
So, like,
I-
deep
I,
into the woods.
I acknowledge and kind of
Gotcha.
grunt a little bit.
So they hear you say that. The goblins standing there like, hey, no, easy. It's just our chief. It's just our chief coming back. Hey, chief. And so the people coming from the right side start like hear that, and you hear them like running through the woods, and 3 other goblins come out of the woods, and they have their weapons ready, but they see like you guys are standing there, their goblins are standing there. They read the situation, and they sort of like stand down a little bit. One of them steps out, and the only real difference you guys can see between all of these goblins is that this one goblin has a small skull on his shoulder. It's an actual skull, but it's obviously very clearly an animal skull. So he steps forward and he says, hello, and who might you be?
Sweet head candy, bro.
Hello. And
Um,
I force my way up. I stand up.
Okay.
Yeah, I would let him know by now.
Okay.
so I'm going to look at this war chief and I'm going to say, did he speak in common or goblin when he spoke to me?
He spoke in common.
I'm going to respond in common back. Hello, you must be the chief of this party here. My name is Aligrax Stardendrian. I am, my friends and I are searching for someone, and
Oh,
we were hoping your friends here might be able to help us out.
well, okay. My name is Rackle, and this is my crew. And the crew sort of waves. Hi, hey, hello.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Rowan, have you made your way over to the group here?
I guess I probably should have made my way back. I was hanging at
You're
the.
just sort of over there kicking dirt clods and shit. Like,
Yeah, I'll make my way back.
Gotcha. So you guys, everybody sort of grouped up, and Rackle invites you to sort of sit down beside the little fire they have going, and he says, so I'm Rackle, and this is my crew. Basically, we used to run with a much larger clan of goblins, but they were so mean, and they would just attack anybody they ran into. I mean, come on. Everybody you see, you gotta attack. It didn't make sense. So me and the boys here, we took off. And now we just sort of wander around. But you said you were looking for somebody?
Indeed. A friend of ours, his daughter, recently went missing.
Oh, that's
And
terrible.
It is, and we have reason to believe she was brought through these woods, and we followed a trail and came upon the clearing where your young friendly band of adventurers yourselves were resting.
And they sort of teeter and like nudge each other, and they're like, adventures. Oh. They like them.
And we were simply we were hoping to find out if you might have seen any sort of commotion last night, if you were in the area, or if you have any idea where our friend might have been taken.
1 second. And they sort of confer in Goblin. Basically, like, did you see anything? Did you see anything? Because Aligrax, you can speak Goblin, so they're like, did you see anything? I didn't see anything. And one of the goblins sort of pipes up and says, well, actually... They all sound the same, by the way, so fuck you guys. Well, actually...
That's racist,
well,
actually.
I don't know, goblins... Fucking goblins.
That's racist.
Take it up with Smargle, the goblin. So anyways, it's like, hey, boss, actually... that's better. Okay, here we go. Hey, boss, actually, earlier, while you guys were gone, I was scouting around, and I actually saw a half-orc dragging a little gnome girl. Is that maybe who you're looking for?
That sounds exactly right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so, yeah. Well, there you go. Found her for you.
We very much appreciate your assistance.
Yeah.
Did you see where he was dragging her off to?
Yeah.
And where might that be?
Oh, it's probably that old stump. And the other goblins sort of, the old stump. Oh, one of the old stump, that old stump over there. Yeah. You know what? We could definitely use some help moving through the woods. Do you guys want to hang out with us, and we'll show you where the stump is?
I see no problem with this. I look around to the party.
Yeah, sounds good.
That would
Sounds
be
fun.
appreciated.
I nod in a circle.
What?
I'm sorry, wait, what?
I nod in a circle. It's just a circle motion.
Like you're stretching out your neck before you do Taekwondo, that type of stuff?
Yeah, basically.
Gotcha, okay.
Yep.
Forgive Carley. He
Does that
goes
mean yes?
too long without his medication.
Are you...
Hello. Yes. I'm in.
Okay, all right. Well, let's go. And so they take a few minutes. They pack up their gear. They did have some meat that was being smoked and dried out over the campfire, and they split it up amongst themselves, and some of them are like sharing it with you. And so you guys sort of go off, and that path that you guys saw earlier, I think it was Rain and Rowan. You guys saw that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You guys see that the goblins are sort of leading you down that path. After a while, you guys lose the trail, but the goblins are still on it. So they know exactly where this guy went. They're not even really using the trail. And as you guys are moving along, the woods gets a little bit dimmer and a little bit darker just because of how heavy the foliage is. And so you are moving through, and then finally you come to the stump. And this stump is probably about 20 feet high and about 30 or 40 feet wide. It's huge. It was clearly a very, very massive tree that had once stood here. And so the goblins are excited. They're like, oh, see, okay, all right, hey, come here. And Rackle calls you guys close, and he says, all right, so this is where, he probably is. Or she. I don't know half-orcs that well. But this is where they probably took her. This is the only place in the woods around here that might even possibly be used. And so he's sort of explaining this, and you guys look towards the stump as he indicates the stump, and you notice that there is a large, like 10-foot wide wooden door set in an iron frame, sort of almost pressed into the stump itself. And Rackle says, were you guys thinking of going in there and checking that out?
Well, it is our job to get our friend back. So
okay.
if it requires it, then yes.
Okay. Did you want to go through that door or the back door?
Back door?
Oh, I like front
Back door?
doors.
We can show you the back door that, you don't really have to go through the front door. We can never get that front door open. When we first came here, we tried, couldn't figure it out. But you guys seem like a smart group. You can either try the front door, but we know a back entrance around the side over here if you guys want us to show you.
Well, a back door might be more discreet.
That's
Can
what
I try
always
to
said.
read his intentions? I've been around a lot of criminals.
Yes, so
Well,
you
fishy.
will use insight to do that. So go ahead and roll me an insight check. Okay, so 10 plus 1, so 11. As far as you know, he's telling the truth. He's
Okay.
not trying to be shifty. He's not trying to lie to you guys or anything like that. He just says, hey, there's a back door. We can show you the back door. I want a back door, back door.
I have no reason to doubt him.
Yeah, I'll definitely follow along.
I reckon the
I'll
back
follow.
door is the way to go.
All right, I'll go where you guys go.
So he scurries sort of back. They sort of back up, and then they go off to the left and around the stump. And they go so far to the left, you almost lose sight of it until you come to a large dead tree. And he says, here you go.
Just through the
Rackle.
tree?
This appears to be a tree.
Of course it would. Look inside the tree.
I look inside the tree.
As you peer down, you notice that while the tree is still standing, it is extremely hollow on the inside. It's about 6 feet around, but it's extremely hollow, and there is a tunnel that goes down.
Well,
Back door! Nope.
I see no reason not to jump in.
You guys hop down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You, as you're falling, you start off straight, and then you slowly get a little bit more and more from steep going to shallow, and you just eventually slide into a tunnel. And you look left, you look right, and you cannot see anything save for Carley, who can see down, and the left goes down and turns and has a turn, and to the right you look down and there's a turn as well. Which way would you like to go? What would you like to do?
Well, I turn around and I say, well, we can go left or right. Nothing down here yet.
Well, I think it's best to have nothing left chance. So let's go left.
Okay. I go left.
Follow.
Let's go left. Okay. That's the dumbest way to figure something out, but I'm glad you guys got it done. Okay.
Whew, sorry, I had to run upstairs and grab a dice. Because I hate rolling on this virtual shit. It's stupid. Okay, so you head left. I'm gonna need some dice.
Wait, no, right.
Oh, I don't need any dice. You guys found her. You're safe. And there's a portal right back to Calic. That's crazy. All right. So you make your way to the left, and you take the turn. And Carley, you look down the hallway. Roll me a perception check.
Okay. Damn, hey, good. Oh, dear God. Okay. 3 plus 1, 4.
You don't see anything. Everything looks fine.
Is this a pretty tight enclosure?
So yeah, I guess I should explain it a little bit better. I apologize. So the hallway and the tunnels that you guys are all in are essentially dirt. You can see thick roots sort of forming the walls almost, and you see just mostly packed dirt down on the ground. And you have about 6 feet wide hallways and about 10 feet tall ceilings.
Yeah.
And that sort of fluctuates as you go, but that's if you guys need like measurements for spells and stuff, that's what you can use.
Great. I'm gonna try to creep up beside Carley here and have a look as well.
Okay, go ahead and roll me perception.
I also have dark vision, so.
Okay, cool. So you're not at a disadvantage either.
Alright, I got a 12 on that.
Everything looks fine. You don't see anything.
Right.
Right. Well, I think I should sneak up just a little teensy bit, see if I can see anything else. I'm gonna try to sneak up a bit stealthily.
Okay, so roll me a stealth check.
Okay, I got a 20 plus 3, 23.
Okay, so you sneak along the corridor, and as you're sort of moving through, you're like, your foot placement is perfect on every single piece of dirt. You don't find a single twig that snaps. Anytime you're pressed up against the wall, you do not rub a piece of your clothing. You are the wind through this tunnel, and you make it all the way to the end of the tunnel.
Okay, I want to look around.
Okay, as you look around, you are at basically a T-junction, and you have a choice. You can go left or you can go right. And you look down, and it's about 30 feet down on either side. And once they hit those corners, they turn. And so that's sort of where you're at.
Well, at this point, no need to stealth. I'm going to walk back and tell them there's a left and right again.
Okay, you walk back unabated, nothing happens.
All right, there's a left and a right. Nothing up there so far.
Again. Any ideas?
Might as well keep lift.
Nothing left to chance. I like the way you think.
I knew someone that was left-handed. He was awesome.
Left-handed.
You know, in some cultures, that's a curse.
I don't know.
Okay, so anyways, you guys move down the tunnel. Nothing happens. You take a left, and so as you guys move around the left corner, let me go ahead and get a perception check from everybody.
Oh, joy.
Uh-oh.
11 plus 1, 12.
Okay, so
Oh.
one at a time. Carly, I got Carly at a 12. Rain
Got an 8.
got an 8. Rowan,
I'm rolling. Awful.
9.
you got 9.
9.
9. Oliver,
21.
21.
21.
Aligrax,
14.
14. So everybody except for Rain and Rowan, as you guys are moving through, you can hear high-pitched chittering, and you can also hear every once in a while the flap of leathery wings. And actually, Oliver, do you have dark vision? It's like everybody but humans has dark vision.
No, halflings don't have dark vision either.
What?
Right?
Oh. That makes sense, actually.
I'm gonna. Hey guys, I can make a flame in my hand. It's pretty cool. You want to see it?
I should just let you know, Carly, since you're at the front, you've got dark vision, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can actually see 2 bats hanging from the ceiling in front of you.
Well, shit. Okay.
As you say, well, shit. No, I'm just kidding.
That was just me. Hey guys, I got a couple bats right here.
Are they like big bats or?
Now, can I see how big they are?
they're not small.
They're
They're pretty big.
they're pretty big
They're
bats.
pretty big bats.
I don't know. They kind of intimidate me. They're big bats.
Well, that's not really a high bar to be setting.
So as you guys are sort of talking and trying to figure out exactly what happened, one of the bats has noticed you, and he shrieks out, and he swoops in to attack. And let's go ahead and roll initiative. Whoa, spooky bats in a cave? Who'da thunk it? Thank you guys so much for joining us for the first episode of Last Nerds on Earth D&D Adventure. Join us again in 2 weeks when we rejoin our heroes in the underground cave and find out if they can save little Katrina. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can find us at Twitter at Last Nerds Earth. Also, we do have a Patreon. Of course we do. Patreon.com/Last Nerds on Earth. That's it for the announcements. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. We'll see you soon.